Hey everybody, it's Brett, your thankful carnivore, with my ever beautiful sidekick, Danielle.
Hello?
She's married to me. I'm a lucky man. Oh my God. Anyway, and we're here for episode 3 of Ask Danielle. So let's get right to it. What does a day of eating look like for you?
Well, I get up at 6 a.m. The first thing I do is start cooking. I cook as many pieces of bacon as I can fit in the air fryer, which is about six or seven. And I will cook those, and I eat them all, and then I will cook some more, depending how hungry I am. But I set aside at least 4 slices that I take with me for lunch. And I also, at that time, cook 2 9.5-ounce hamburgers, one for myself and one for my son Michael, for our son Michael, also for his lunch. Yeah, it's just lunch. Cooking lunch. I cook breakfast. I cook lunch. I usually have a cup of decaf. Sometimes I will also have broth. I make 2 sizes of broth. I freeze 2 sizes of broth. One is like two cups, and one is 1 cup, something like that. So I might have some broth, just how I feel. Then lunch, I eat the hamburger and the bacon, and that's it. I drink water with lunch, and then I eat dinner. For dinner, I don't even measure it. I might have a steak. I might have salmon. I might have chicken. Well, on Sundays I usually make a roast chicken, and Mike and I can put away like a 5-pound bird. We'll each eat half of it. There might be some leftover, and or I'll eat a hamburger. If I eat a hamburger or a steak or fish, I almost always have bacon with it. The only time I don't have bacon at dinner is if I make pork chops.
What's wrong with bacon and pork chops? I never understood. It's too much pork. I'll die.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I maybe just because the pork chops, they have a bunch of butter on them, and it doesn't. I don't know. To me, it doesn't.
I've had pork chops and bacon together, and it rocks.
Yeah, it's fine. But I make pork chops a couple of times a week. I make the chicken once a week. Sometimes I make sausage, but I'm very picky about the sausage, because I don't want a bunch of sugar. And now if it's made with cured meats, it might be cured with sugar. But I'll eat Azar sausage. I will eat the Peterson's sugar-free kielbasa, and I will eat Publix bratwurst. Those are the kinds that don't have dextrose and all the other nasty crap in them.
Tune in for episode 100 so if you find out if she's just eating ground beef and bacon yet. Don't think that'll ever happen.
Think so.
But
I love fish, and I love chicken, but once a week is plenty. Just because I'd rather eat the roasted bird. It just tastes way better to me than just making like white meat. And I don't really like dark meat very much.
Okay. Question number 2. By the way, that first question was submitted by one of you fine folks on the YouTube channel. I appreciate that so much. And if you have questions for any future episodes of Ask Danielle, include them in the comments. Question number 2. Do you ever, I get asked this multiple times a day, do you ever get tired of just eating meat?
No, I really don't. And this really surprised me. I like variety. I love to cook, and I enjoy making different things. But it's a peculiar thing. But once tastes change, the need for constant variety and new and different things, and the dissatisfaction with sameness really goes away. And even if I may have a day where I'm like, do I really want a hamburger for dinner? As soon as you start eating it, it's like, yes, this is awesome. Whatever I make, as soon as I am eating it, and even actually while I'm cooking it, then you just start thinking about how good it's going to be, and it's awesome. And I'm still surprised by that, but I don't really give it too much thought. And this also goes into the whole snacking thing. I used to eat a small breakfast. By mid-morning, had to have a snack. Bag of crackers, some pretzels, piece of fruit. I mean, anything. You had to have something. Your mind was saying, gotta eat, gotta have something, anything. And then I would eat lunch, and then, a couple hours after lunch, again, you're thinking about your next meal already. Now, I eat breakfast. I don't even think about food till I start realizing that, hey, I'm hungry. And that's sometime between 11:30 and noon, and I'm eating by noon normally. And then I don't even think about food again until probably about 4 o'clock. Then I start thinking about the next meal.
The answer to the question, ladies and gentlemen,
no.
No way. No way.
Do not get tired of it.
Okay, you used to suffer from headaches.
Oh my God.
All the time. You used to get migraines.
Horrible migraines. It was terrible.
Okay, so the question is, as a carnivore, do you still get headaches?
Very rarely, and I believe it, even in those cases, there's a definite cause. Generally, probably not enough sleep. I'm sure I'm still not getting enough sleep. I tend to go to bed late. I have a lot of work, and then sometimes I procrastinate, and I have to get something finished.
Sometimes.
I work well under pressure, so I seem to create my own, which is really horrible. But I'm sure there are people out there who understand what I'm talking about. But generally speaking, no, I don't get headaches. I feel very good pretty much all the time. Even days where I know I could have used another hour of sleep or something like that. I still feel good, whereas it used to be, boy, if you didn't get enough sleep and you just felt like crap all day, even if you drank a bunch of coffee to help you through. But I really don't go through that. Now, there's been times where for one reason or another, I didn't get my meal on time. Now, it isn't like how it used to be. Before I went carnivore, if I missed a meal or ate too late, then I would get a headache and feel horrible, and it literally would ruin my day. But now, if I eat late, I might get a headache. But then once I've eaten, then everything's back to normal. And I have to say, I do not think that I have had an actual migraine since I've done this. And I used to really have debilitating migraines to the point where, they try prescribing something, but you have to actually predict that something is going to become a migraine and take the medicine ahead of time. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Well, guess what? If you get headaches literally every day and sometimes multiple times a day, you never know when one of them is just going to blow up.
Life is much
head.
better since she doesn't get migraines. It was very horrible. There was nothing I could do. She would have to lie down in the dark
lie
room.
Down in the dark, no noise, no light,
and
hope I would go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, that's today's episode of Ask Danielle. We appreciate so much everybody's comments. All the views have been spectacular. We'll see you next Sunday. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to ask Danielle. Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.